So how to solve quadratic equations with square roots? Okay, so you have a square root here, x square minus 2x minus 24 equal to 0, and you are supposed to solve them. Okay, we can solve them using the conventional method. What is the conventional method? The first step is, that is step 1, first step. First step is multiply the coefficient of x square with the constant. So what is the coefficient of x square? It's 1 multiplied by constant, that's minus 24. 1 multiplied by minus 24. And the next step is second step. Second step is to split 24 in such a way that you get the coefficient of x. Here the coefficient of x is root of root 2. Okay, minus root 2. So how can you split minus 24 to get root 2? It's difficult, right? But it is not so difficult. It's very easy. The first thing is just write root 2 on both sides. Okay, and then multiply root 2. When you multiply root 2, what do you get? Root 2 multiplied by root 2, that is root 4. Root 4 is 2. And then you should find a number x, or let's call it a number a. When you multiply it by 2, you get minus 24. What can you multiply a? A is what? A can be, a is minus 12. Then you should find two numbers. When you multiply, you should get 12. What are? You should get 12. At the same time, when you subtract or add, you should get 1. Because here it's minus root 2x can be minus 1 multiplied by root 2. So it can be 4 and 3. 4 and 3 is, when you multiply, you get 12. But when you add or subtract, you should get 1, right? You should get, yes. So minus 4 multiplied by 3, what do you get? Minus 12. Okay. When you add them, minus 4 plus 3, you get minus 1. So you got two other values, minus 4 and 3. Let's check it. Minus 4 multiplied by minus 4 root 2 multiplied by 3 root 2, what do you get? Minus 4 multiplied by 3 is minus 12. 2 multiplied by root 2 multiplied by root 2 is what? 2. You got minus 24. At the same time, when you add them, minus 4 root 2 plus 3 root 2, you get minus root 2. Okay, so this is how you factor 24. Okay, so the minus root 2x, this can be rewritten as x square minus 4 root 2 x plus 3 root 2x minus 24 equal to 0. Okay, this is how you should split the middle term, the term root 2x. Okay, so these are the factors you got, the factors of minus 24. To find the solution, x is what? Just write them, 4 root 2 and 3 root 2. Just change this sign. Minus becomes plus, and here it's plus becomes minus. So these are the two These are the solution of this equation. X equal to 4 root 2 and x equal to minus 3 root 2. See the next equation, quadratic equation, x square minus 12 root 2x plus 70. What's the first step? Multiply the coefficient of x square with constant. 1 multiplied by 70 is 70. You should split 70 such a way that when you add them or subtract them, you should get minus 12 root 2. Okay, and when you multiply them, you should get plus 70. But here there is a root 2. So what is the first step? Just write root 2 in both sides. Okay, so when you multiply them, root 2 multiplied by root 2, it's 2. And find a number a such that when you multiply 2 and a, you should get 70. You should get 70. What is a? A should be 35, right? 35 multiplied by 2 is 70. And now 35 should be splitted in two different ways, into two parts, such a way that when you add them or subtract them, you should get 12. Okay, you can write it as 7 and 5, right? 7 multiplied by 5 is 35 and 7 plus 5 is 12. But what you should get? You should get minus 12, right? So here it should be minus 7 and minus 5. When you multiply minus 7 and minus 5, you will get 35 plus 35. When you add them, minus 7 plus minus 5, you get minus 12. Okay, so this 70 should be splitted like this. Now again you can check. Minus 7 root 2 multiplied by minus 5 root 2, you get 7 multiplied by 5 is 35. Root 2 multiplied by root 2 is 270. Yes. Now add them. Minus 7 root 2 plus minus 5 root 2 is equal to minus 12 root 2. Okay, so you got the coefficient of x and the constant. Okay, the root of, now the solution is x equal to what? 7 root 2, 5 root 2. Now go for the sign. Here it's minus, so here it becomes plus. Here it's minus, so this becomes plus. Why the sign changes? You know why this sign changes? The whole expression, when you simplify the whole expression, you will get x minus 7 root 2 multiplied by x minus 5 root 2 equal to 0. When you simplify this expression, you get like this. Okay, the same thing applies. And then when a multiplied by b is equal to 0, either a must be 0 or b must be 0. So x must be 0 means x minus 7 root 2 must be 0 means x equal to 7 root 2. X minus 5 root 2 is, when you equate to 0, then x is what? 5 root 2. Okay, this is the way you get it. Let's go to the next question. So this is the equation 5x square plus 4 root 10x plus 8 equal to 0. What is step 1? Step 1 is multiplying the coefficient of x square with the constant. What do you get? 5 multiplied by 8 is 40. Next, you should split 40. You should find the factors of 40 such a way that when you add them or subtract them, you should get 4 root 10. Okay, and when you multiply these two factors, you should get 40. Okay, so here is a root 10. So the first thing is you put a root in both sides, root 10 in both sides. Multiply root 10 and root 10, what do you get? It's 10. Okay, and find a value a such a way that when you multiply 10 by a, you should get 40. A should be what? 4. Okay, a is 4. Now you should split 4 such a way that when you add them or subtract them, you should get 4. Okay, how can you do it? 2 and 2, right? When you add them, 2 multiplied by 2, you get 4. When you add them, you get 4, right? So sign is positive in both sides, so no problem. So 2 here and 2 here. Okay, so 4 root 10 is written as 2 root 10 x plus 2 root 10 x. So the solution is x equal to minus 2 root 10 comma 2 root 10 minus 2 root 10 divided by 5. Why it's divided by 5? Because the coefficient of x square is 5. In previous cases, the coefficient of x square was 1. So you just need to factorize and just write them out. But now, if the coefficient of x square is a value other than 1, you should divide that value and you should find out the solution. So this is the next question. 32y minus 52 root y plus 21 equal to 0. You are supposed to solve the equation. Now, and first, when you look at it, this may not look like a quadratic equation, but you can convert it. You can view it as a quadratic equation. How? Because here there is a y, here there is a root y. So if I write y like this, is it correct? Okay, y can be written as root of y the whole square. So rewriting the whole equation, you'll get 32 multiplied by root of y the whole square minus 52 root y plus 21 equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation in root y. Okay, so now what is the first step? Multiply the coefficient of root y square and the constant. 32 multiplied by 21. There is no need to multiply it 32 multiplied by 21. You no need to find the actual value, just split them. 32 is what? 8 multiplied by 4. 21 is what? 7 multiplied by 3, right? And we should get 52, right? Somehow we should get 52. 32, 21, when you add them, what do you get? 60, 53. But you should get 52. So take 4 and 7 together, you get 28. And 8 and 3 together, you get 24. And when you add them, you get 52, right? So you can write it as 28 multiplied by 24. This way also you can write. Okay, add them, you get 52, but you need minus 52. So minus 28 multiplied by minus 24. You can split minus 52 root y as minus 52 root y can be split it as minus 28 root y minus 24 root y. Okay, here we are interested in finding the solution. So what would be the solution? Solution would be y equal to minus 28 becomes plus 28, minus 24 becomes plus 24, divided by what? 32. You have to divide the factors by the coefficient of root y. Is it y? No, it is root y. Okay, because here we have converted it, right? Here instead of x, it's root y. 24 divided by 32. So this can be written as 28 is what? 2 multiplied by 14, 2 multiplied by 16, again 14 by 16 is what? 7 by 8, right? Similarly here it's 6 by 8, right? Again it can be written as 3 by 4, and root y is 7 by 8. So what would be y? The square of this, right? 49 divided by 64 comma 9 by 16. So this is the next question. 3x square minus 6 plus root 17 of x plus 2 root 17. You know, by the first looks it seems very difficult, but it is very easy. You know, it is like any other quadratic equation. What is the first step? Multiply the coefficient of x square with the constant. That is the first step. 3 multiplied by 2 root 17 is what? 6 root 17. So we should split 6 root 17 in such a way that when you multiply it, you should get 6 root 17. When you add it, you should get the coefficient of x. See, when you observe itself, you know, when you split it like this, 6 and root 17, when you multiply, you get 6 root 17. When you add them, you get the coefficient of x, right? 6 plus root 17. So in question itself, it is already solved. In a way, it is solved. Okay, when you add them, you should get 6 plus root 17 minus of 6 plus root 17. So there should be a minus here, right? When you add them, you get minus 6 plus minus root 17. When you multiply them, you get minus cancels 6 root 17. So the roots will be x equal to 6 plus 6 plus 17 divided by 3 y, because the coefficient of x square is 3. You should divide the factors by 3. X equal to what? 2 comma root 17 by 3.